Astronaut Anne McClain is back on Earth after a 204-day mission in space. So far, we've only heard from the Spokane native via her Twitter account, but now we're lucky enough to have her with us from the Johnson Space Center in Houston. Anne, thank you for being here this morning. You're back for about a week now. How are you doing?
Doing great. It's fun getting used to Earth again. Lots of things that you didn't think about before, and you get to think about. Gravity is real.
You said the return trip before you made it was going to be something like riding a roller coaster or being inside a washing machine. So did it turn out to be like that? I mean, what were those 3 hours like as you basically hurtled back to Earth?
Yeah, the trip back is definitely a day that I will never forget. And, if I knew if it was going to be that fun, I'd want to do it a whole lot more. But it definitely was a little bit like a roller coaster. So as you mentioned, it takes about 3.5 hours to get back from the space station. And really about the first 2.5 of those are pretty quiet. But then as soon as you fire off the deorbit burn and your vehicle starts getting pulled back into Earth's atmosphere with gravity, you go through the plasma layer where you rapidly slow down. You get really pressed into your seat. You really feel gravity for the first time. And then after that, you're coming through the air, the parachute's open, it really shakes you around. It is quite an adventure getting all the way back down to the ground, but it was an amazing ride.
Shortly after you touched down, you tweeted a T.S. Eliot quote that I wanted to repeat and get your take on. You said, at the end of all of our exploring will be to arrive where we started and know the place for the first time. So when you got back to Earth and you've been here a week now, what do you know about home that you didn't know before?
I think any time that I've ventured out from my comfort zone, from what I know, be it growing up in Spokane and end up going to school outside of Washington State, studying overseas, traveling the world, and of course now traveling into space, I never have sought adventures to try to get away from where I am, but rather to understand the context where I am and where I came from. And I love going out, and my time in space was just magic to me. It was getting to do something that so few humans have ever gotten to do ever. But really, it's so special coming home then and really looking around and understanding what we have on this planet. It's such a precious planet. This is the best planet in the solar system. It's the best thing we have going, so we always kind of joke about. We have to take care of it, though. Our environment is fragile, our atmosphere is thin, and we're really all in it together. Everything that we do affects everyone else, and we really need to be cognizant of that.
I want to ask you about your future and the possibility that maybe you could return to space. There are rumors. I want to ask you about maybe even going to the moon. So will you stick around and join us for another interview that we could air tomorrow, and we can ask you some follow-up questions?
I would love to answer some more of those questions. We do definitely have an exciting future to talk about.